You're just saying it because a trans person happened to win this one time.
Yeah.
And they will probably get subsequently owned over and over again throughout their career, and you're never going to think about that ever again.
Yeah.
We're not going to watch this whole thing. I'm just this is just
30
B-roll in the background. And people get mad at me, but like that's the normal position. I think that the normal position is just like, you don't care about this. You're only acting like you care about this and making it seem like you care about the integrity of the sport somehow being compromised by trans people, like the 3 trans people that are like participating in it. And that's the unfortunate reality is that like it dominates discourse.
The people who like create this issue have never been to a women's sporting event in their life. You know, like they don't give a shit about it. And so like they have generated like a false issue, you know?
Yeah.
Now look, when you're talking about whatever the swimmer is at Harvard, right? Am I right? Whatever. Like, and you're talking about like literally the people who are on the same team and that individual competition. Like that's for the people in that community to figure out. It's fucking children's sports. You know, like we can surely find an accommodation here that is going to like allow everyone to participate in sports and do whatever the fuck else you wanted to do. It's the inflation of it into a culture war issue that is ludicrous. And yeah.
But what was the feedback? Like you got a lot of backlash, right? Like I mean, people are like they get really fucking agitated.
Oh yeah,
about this issue. Like they make this out to be the most important, most significant thing. Is to like dunk on.
His fans came after me for a couple months after this. It was again a conversation that I did not go in intending to have. But it was just like beta cuck, just like you know the very basic stuff. No one's actually like advancing an argument of any kind. No one actually cares about the issue at all. And I'll point out, like I say to him multiple times, hey, you should talk to like an expert about this. You should talk to like somebody who knows what they're talking about. Like, I'm not sure why we're having this conversation, but it's because, he felt like using me as a punching bag in that moment, The
only experts he'll talk to about this are going to be experts that are not an actual expert in the field, and usually like random fucking evolutionary psychologists or whatever. Who got fired for saying the N-word over and over again or some shit from some like random liberal arts college that now have like a podcast that almost exclusively relies on being on Joe Rogan to stay afloat.
Here's the most disappointing thing to me about this interview was I was excited to do this interview because at the time Joe was not so directly associated with like the far right. Like he hadn't totally made that turn yet. He was saying shit like this, but I was like, okay, the guy's a comic, I'm a comic. We should be able to like, do some have some galaxy brain fun together, And so he starts talking about this shit. And I try to get him to like look at it with a bigger picture and say like, hey man, like sports are fucking social constructions. We made them up. And so we invented sport. Yes, there are differences between male and female biological, born, whatever, assigned at birth male, assigned at birth female bodies. We designed sports such that the most popular ones are like designed for a male body. What if we didn't do that? Right? What if like women's gymnastics, like men can't do that shit, right? Because there's et cetera. What if we invented fucking sports that we did not have a problem with, right? Because sports is just a fun thing to do. Sports is something that everyone should be able to participate in. So what if we invented some fucking less gendered sports? He was not willing to entertain that conversation. He was like, I was like, is this not interesting? And he wouldn't go there with me. So that's my biggest bummer about it was like, he was not really into the idea of having like an honest, he turned it immediately into a boxing match and I wanted to have a conversation. So all the backlash was like, oh, Rogan owned you. He won a debate against you. I was like, I thought I was having a conversation. Like, I thought I went on to just like talk about my show and like spitball shit because we're fucking comics. And he turned it into a fist fight, which that's what I don't like about it.
Well, women could have made them, but they didn't. Yeah, because they're too busy. Yeah. Not because of like the patriarchy or anything, but because like they're too busy in the kitchen loving making sandwiches to me as my braless wife. That's why. But no, the reason why I said that is because like if you even if you even support trans rights in any visible capacity on the internet, people will eat your ass in the fucking QRTs nonstop and tell you you're a cuck or a soy boy or whatever.
Yeah.
Which is always really funny when they say that to me, because I'm like, come on, dude.
It sucks.
What do you look like?
it really sucks because, you know, when you get that amount of hate, it does make you think twice as like a public figure, right? Like, I don't want people to hate on me. And then you have to go, hold on a second. This is like fucking gay rights in 1995, you know? Like, we need to fucking go to bat for this. Or like, you're going to be on the wrong side of history, you know? And so what I do appreciate is that years later, people still come up to me and say, hey, thank you for like going to bat in that interview. You did the best you could. And I'm like, thank you. I'm glad that, you know, that came through to some folks. But yeah, I mean, it's...
How is this similar to gay rights? It's a targeted minority that's marginalized, and being like the exact same arguments used towards gay people are now being used towards trans people. Gay people can't be in the locker room with other men because, like, they'll get too horny.
And by the way, those arguments are now being leveled against gay people again.
Yeah.
Like, we're back there. We're fucking rolling back civil rights as we speak across the country. Turns out that's turned out to be a very powerful organizing weapon for the right.
I just always find it funny that Joe Rogan is a #1 advocate, and I used to be a huge fan of his. Like, I've watched him. I've hung out with him before as well, like many years back, but I watched him for many years. He has always been a gigantic advocate of gender affirming surgery, as he is the #1, probably the most public, most vocal advocate of TRT, which is a form of hormone therapy that's gender affirming. He himself has done TRT throughout the years, maybe even HGH, and yet he turns around and is like, yeah, trans women, you know, you can't do that.
I mean, it's the craziest thing is the reason we started talking about trans athletes was I brought up the case of Caster Semenya. Do you know Caster Semenya?
Yes, the cis the cis woman who was barred from competing because her testosterone levels were too high.
Yeah, and like that's bullshit discrimination against a woman, against a black woman. She's like now barred from racing because the other racers said that it was unfair to compete against her. She's had no hormone replacement therapy of any kind. And Joe was like, yeah, that's bullshit. What do you think about trans athletes? And I was like, well, I mean, for the same reason, like, I don't think they should be excluded from sports. And that set him off, which is like, I don't understand how you can understand why to be on the right side of one and the wrong side of the other, personally, apart from fucking prejudice. Like,
yeah, no,
what else is it? Like, it's all an argument for prejudice.
People that have natural advantages like Michael Phelps or even like LeBron James, you know what I mean? Like, people that have natural advantages beyond everything else is like, it's still, you know, that's fine. That's cool. That's actually celebrated. But, you know, anything else outside of that is unacceptable. I've talked about, I made a comparison to Messi before. Like, Messi had a genetic disability that he overcame by getting HGH and like numerous forms of hormone therapy. And he's one of the best athletes of all time. It's seen as like a story of overcoming like a great struggle, right? Great marginalization, and when a trans athlete is like even remotely successful, they're like, no, that's cheating.
Yeah. And like the thing that I've only come to realize recently, talking to my friend River Butcher, who's a really funny comic, trans man, really great person, explained this to me, that like women's sports leagues were created in order to ghettoize and subjugate women. That like there used to be a lot of cases in like the dawn of organized sports where you'd have women who were competitive with male athletes at baseball, sports like that. And like men would freak out, and then they banned women from the sports around the same time that they were fucking banning black people from sports. And so they created a second tier sports system to keep women out of sports. And they, again, created the sports in such a way that they benefited male bodies on average rather than female bodies on average. So when you're saying like, oh, we need to defend women's sports against trans athletes, you're saying we need to defend like a fucking caste system in sports, a tiered system that is subjugating women. What we should be doing is saying the entire system of male versus female sports is fucking prejudiced, and we should demolish the whole thing and come up with a system of sports that everybody can participate in, because sports are just a fucking part of life.
People will say that that's like discriminatory towards women, though, because then it's like because all men will always dominate. Men will always dominate that co-ed sport
They
because
won't
like
if you
because of
develop
the
sports.
averages. Because of like I get it. I mean I understand what you're saying.
Again, just using it as an example, women's gymnastics, right, is better than men's gymnastics, like as a sport. Like nobody gives a shit about men's gymnastics. Everyone knows that women's gymnastics is better. And like it's not hard to like. How would you take soccer, right? How would you adjust the rules of soccer very slightly in order to make it, build more gender parity into soccer? You could fucking do it. We made the sports up.
I know, but there's no. I know, but there's so much there's so much tradition that people will refuse to do that. They'll say you're trying to game the system in a way that like it's worse. The outcomes are worse overall because like co-ed automatically means worse because as it stands currently, co-ed is worse because these are sports, as you correctly pointed out, that have been tailored towards like the male physique and like more testosterone focused endeavors.
But all we need to do is like show people the counterexample. Like yes, the tradition is there. It's long-standing. It's going to be a long time to fight for. But like so is gay marriage. So is everything else. And we need to like show and normalize. In order to get out of this trap, because sports as it is now is a trap that is like designed to subjugate women and trans people. Like it's like a fucking honeypot for bullshit arguments. And so we need to stop trying to go like, how will we adjust the NBA or whatever, or like the WNBA to account for trans athletes, and start saying, what are the models that would like actually result in an equitable sports system overall, and like demonstrate it to people. I think a really good example, honestly, is fucking wrestling. Like pro wrestling is like, they now have like really healthy women's divisions, and they don't seem that far away from just like, let's just fucking let the men and women wrestle each other. It's all theater anyway. Let's just do it. It'll be great, And
well, I mean, but that is theater though. I mean, there's like a profound amount of physicality, like physical excellence required, but it is like still literally wrestling. Whereas sports in the way that it currently works is supposed to like bring out the best in a particular subject. But that's part of the reason why I don't have a problem with trans athletes is that like they're already overcoming a profound amount of struggle by coming out as trans, and then also they're working against their hormones that like simultaneously are quite literally shrinking their muscle mass.
What's bizarre is that when a cis athlete goes through any sort of adversity, like you say, they're like lauded. Like fucking Lance Armstrong's missing a ball, and people are like, "Wow, incredible!" But when a different athlete has their own challenges, they're always told it's an advantage. Like the fucking what's the name of Oscar Pistorius, the guy who eventually shot his girlfriend.
Yeah.
Before that, he's the guy with I believe no legs below the knee, and he had the spring things, and people were ludicrously saying that gave him an advantage when the result. The guy has springs for legs. He doesn't have muscles. Muscles like are an anti-entropic system. You energy comes out of them and makes you go faster. He was using springs, which lose energy with every bounce. It's like literally, as a matter of thermodynamics, not an advantage. But people were saying that this guy shouldn't be allowed to race. And guess what? They did let him race, and he never got close to winning. And it was, and then unfortunately he shot his girlfriend, which is, he murdered her, which is a different part of the story.
Unrelated to the topic at hand.
Like, it's crazy how sports are such a fucking hegemonic like force that as soon as you try to be slightly outside of the mainstream, you're ejected, you're told you have an advantage. And like we should be seeing all these examples, Caster Semenya, trans athletes, as like part of the same struggle for like inclusion in sports. And we also need to ask ourselves, what's more important to us? Like having some sort of objective thing of like who won, or including everybody in society in this fundamental part of human activity. And I think it's the latter. I don't really give a shit. Like I want to see who wins for fun. It's not like important on a cosmic level that like the best person win. It's important on a cosmic level that we include everybody who wants to participate. And like, so what is your value at the end of the day?
I agree, but I also don't really give a shit about sports. So everyone will literally be like, dude, fuck off. You don't care about sports. Like So I do see the other side's argument in that situation where they're like, you're ruining something that is like near and dear to me and important to me.
But why
But
would
it's
that
made up.
ruin
It's
it?
made up to begin with. But it's that area is one that I personally believe is like impossible to change. Other than just like allowing trans women to compete with cis women, like I don't give a fuck. I think that's ridiculous to like hyper focus on
At the
trans
very
women.
yes, it's gonna be very difficult to reform sports. At the very least, we can stop getting sucked into this bullshit trap of an argument about like, oh, what division should they be in? We should be able to point out that like the entire division is built to like exclude and subjugate people, and that's what we should be working to end.
Yeah.
Go follow River Butcher on Twitter and buy his albums. He's a really great stand-up comic, who I mentioned earlier.
Yeah. There was another thing I wanted to show you. We looked at Dave Rubin. We looked at Baby Formula. We looked at what else was I going to talk about? There was another thing. God damn it. Oh, Bill Maher.
Speaking of Bill Maher.
Speaking of transphobia, our brave, beautiful liberal savior finally came out with a take. This was like, I mean, liberals for the most part, at least like fake caring about social issues usually, like the classic, I'm socially progressive, but I'm fiscally, Republican, fiscally conservative.
It's flipped now. Like now dudes like this. I mean, he's a social conservative.
Yeah, 100%.
Like,
I mean, but he's also, I don't think he's fiscally progressive. I think very few people at this, at his level of wealth are actually progressive and are saying stuff like, let's tax me more.
And finally, new rule: if something about the human race is changing at a previously unprecedented rate, we have to at least discuss it. Broken down over time, the LGBT population of America seems to be roughly doubling every generation, according to a recent Gallup.
Fucking terrifying. We need to stop that. Wow, that's really fucked up, dude.
Yeah, I mean, even this framing is designed to frighten people.
Yeah, no, I mean, who will... If everyone becomes LGBT, no one's going to fuck him at sex parties that he goes to. You know what I mean? No one's going to fuck him at the sanctum parties. So,
Poll. Less
That's
than
real, by the
1%
way.
of Americans born before 1946, that's
great
Joe
replacement
Biden's
theory for
generation,
gender.
identify that way. 2.6% of boomers do, 4.2% of Gen X, 10.5% of millennials, and 20.8% of Gen Z. Which means if we follow this trajectory, we will all be gay in 2054.
See, there's a rule as a comic: if your audience is applauding that much, you've made a mistake.
Yeah, I mean, he is just like he's looking for people to agree with him, not necessarily
Can I tell you something? I've
This
been
is
on Bill
awesome.
Maher. I had a good time on the show.
Uh-huh.
And Bill Maher really does have a redeeming feature, which is that he then invites his panel to beat the shit out of him rhetorically. And very few other people on TV do that. I did an episode, I forget what the topic was, but me and the other two guests were like, Bill, what the fuck are you talking about? For like 20 minutes.
Yeah.
And I do appreciate that about him. And I also think he's a really good marker of like what boomers think. You know what I mean? Like but yeah, I have not watched this whole segment.
It's just crazy that like I mean, he's just like showing this graph, and there is like one fundamental difference here is that and the fundamental difference actually reveals itself in the graph as well, which is self-identification of LGBTQ. This is not a graph of the actual number of members who are in the LGBTQ community, but instead people who are out and self-identify as members of the LGBTQ
Does he
community.
point out that distinction?
I don't know, but that's the reason why I wanted to show this really quickly. It's not like there's way more left-handed Americans now. It's just that it's no longer forced upon the population.
Incredible pull from you.
Yeah.
Did that just come out of your head? That was
I did.
Incredible that you.
Thank you, Spastic Hawk 27 for the 5 good subs. Oh, another incredible pull is when I run the top of the hour ad break 30 minutes in because I forgot to run it earlier. If you no longer want to see those ads, you can subscribe for $5 or for free with a Twitch Prime, as long as you have an Amazon Prime account connected to your Twitch account. Here's the 1 minute ad break now. Not the automated clap. Is that automated? No shot. There's a live audience, right?
What?
There's a live audience on
to
Bill
that
Maher.
show? Yeah, he's got a live audience. No, and that was absolutely a live audience. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know when his audience came back.
And
Obviously,
then
he
who's
didn't have
going to
them
buy
for-
this chair? I'm just saying that when things change this much, this fast, people are allowed to ask, what's up with that?
Dude, come on, dude. Again, just gonna point this out one more time. You know, people need to stop with this left-handed writing stuff. You know what I mean? Is it
Yeah, I know.
satanic?
If you were sitting there in 1940, we're allowed to ask, where are all these left-handed people coming from?
Yeah.
Why is the left-handed agenda coming for me? Why are they trying to suppress what I have to say?
They're trying to eliminate right-handed people. It's fucked up.
All the babies are in the wrong bodies? Was there a mix-up?
Come on, dude. You can't be asking rhetorical questions that are this fucking stupid. Also, I thought he had a liberal audience. Like, liberals don't comprehend this, like, basic fact that, like, people are more comfortable coming out now because you're not, like, immediately hate crimed.
I mean, again, this is why I say this is gay rights in 1995. Like, people do not understand, like, liberals do not understand this issue yet, unfortunately. At least not liberals of Bill's age.
Aisha Esquire, thank you for the 5 subs.
But the plant, like with Captain Crunch's Oops, All Berries?
It's a pretty good joke. I didn't like the premise. The conclusion was like, I like
It
the
wasn't
reference.
that long ago when adults asked a kid, what do you want to be when you grow up? They meant what profession?
Fucking got him, dude.
See,
So
this is what
good.
happens on Bill Maher is sometimes you have to hear him say that shit, and then you gotta go, oh, the camera's going to be on me. I got to react to that.
Yeah.
Oh, boy. Donna Brazil. Well, she made her bed.
It's wild that the fucking HBO has John Oliver on the one side and then Bill Maher on the other. It is, you know, I guess they're covering the spectrum.
In the wake of America about to lose abortion rights, the ACLU recently tweeted a list of those who would be disproportionately harmed by this. You would think women might top that list? No, wasn't even on the list. Second on the list was LGBT. Really? Abortion rights affects gay and trans people more than, you know, breeders?
What was the actual list? I need to know
What
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 No, no,
the
no. There is like okay, so there's a tendency for like liberals to do overcorrective conversations, like overcorrective language usage. Like, you know, liberals love aesthetics. They love sanitizing language as though that's going to fundamentally change the way that like our structures routinely oppress marginalized people like trans people.
Yeah.
So then they'll turn around and fucking be like, they'll you know, Latinx example, or they turn around and say like birthing person, you know what I mean? And it's like, I think personally, one, I think that's ineffective, and two, I think that it like it dehumanizes people, like it's dehumanizing language.
Yeah.
Or
I agree with
Wimixin
you.
was another one, you know, Latinx. Or Wimixin was another one where they like put an X in the women, which was like ironically transphobic because it was like otherizing trans women for no reason.
Yeah, there's a thing liberals will do. I've heard people say this where I was in a meeting and it said someone was like, this issue is really important to women. I'm sorry, women or people who identify as women. And it's like that's actually otherizing of trans people.
Just say women,
Just say
dude.
women. Like if you are speaking in a context where you want to be specifically, you know,
Notice how he, by the way,
inclusive, then
notice how
use the
that,
language,
notice
but-
how this piece of shit like fucking totally avoided saying black, indigenous, and other people of color. Abortion bans disproportionately harm black, indigenous, and other people of color. He jumped that and just immediately went to the LGBTQ community. Immigrants, young people, those who work in the make ends meet, people with disabilities, protecting abortion access is an urgent matter of racial and economic justice. First of all, this is a correct take. I don't know why he thinks like, does he think that like members of the LGBTQ community like don't have sex or get pregnant or something? Like, what the fuck?
or don't include women. I mean,
Is that just like there are no women in the LGBTQ community? What the fuck?
yeah.
Also, they're just saying that like it disproportionately targets them because they're already marginalized. So that's weird. Okay. Bi people can't have kids. Yeah.
I'm happy for LGBT folks that we now live in an age where they can live their authentic lives openly. And we should always be mindful.
I don't think he's happy. If he was, he wouldn't have cut a 9-minute video of shitting on like LGBT people existing and being like, why are there so many LGBT people, huh?
I'm happy, but I want to ask questions.
Yeah.
Of respecting and protecting. But someone needs to say it. Not everything's about you.
Who is making it about themselves in that?
Like, okay. Again, this is a consequence of not having like an intersectional feminist perspective on the matter, and it says more about Bill Maher's attitude on the subject than anything else. But like, that's not a real thing. Like, there's no like, most trans people don't even fucking rush to correct people when they say like women when they're talking about pregnancy, because like the percentage of trans people that are non-binary, or the percentage of trans people that are AFAB trans men that are, you know, giving birth or trying to give birth is still marginal across the board, and you can still include them in your language, obviously. But I've never, like, I talk about these issues all the time, and I've never heard a single trans person be like, no, actually, fuck you. Like, you have to say birthing person or whatever the fuck. Because they understand, like, it's like academics that are trying to sanitize language because they have no power, and they personally recognize that, like, you know, there's nothing you can do about genuine structural change. So they're just fucking literally, you know, some people are just like pointing out cultural things that they think that they can change.
Yeah, I mean, the whole language, it's why, look, I'll use whatever language I want to make the person I'm speaking to feel respected. So I'm speaking to that person with respect. But, you know, when we start our political arguments with, we need to change language, when we make that our focus, it just pulls us into bullshit arguments, because it ends up being all that the argument is about, rather than about anything substantial. The amount of time that was wasted on Latinx over the last 5 years. I'm like, look, if I'm speaking to an audience that includes non-binary Latinx folks, that's a great word for me to use. We don't need to have op-eds about it anymore. You know what I mean? Like, this is not something that, anyway, sorry. Go on.
I mean, I don't use it unless someone's like, I'm non-binary or it's Latinx or whatever. For the most part, like, it's just, I think it's like such a, I know it's like led by some Latinx non-binary folk, and like part of it is because like you know, the Latino community also has the same level, if not more, transphobia. So of course they are not going to be in support of it as well. But like, ultimately, I don't want to come across like a fucking out of touch white dude by saying Latinx, because I am a white guy, and when, you know, 90% of this community does not see themselves as you know, or does not use that recognition. It's not a signifier they recognize. And I'm not.
Language is situational, right? So if you make the claim, hey, we all must stop using this word and must start using that word, then you're just inviting someone to go, not in that situation. And now you're having a bullshit argument with an asshole. So just like, use language yourself, try to encourage other people to use it respectfully, and then work on issues that like actually affect people.
Yeah.
You know?
For the record, people don't realize this, but they're making like Turk-X jokes, but like, Turkish is a gender neutral language. There's no gender pronouns in Turkish. So, you know, there are languages that don't have any gender whatsoever in them. So that's why that was part of like the difficulty for me when I was learning English. It was like constantly trying to make sure that I had like the proper gender, and I still misgender people all the time on accident, not on purpose. Like, when I'm talking about cis people, like not talking about trans people at all. Like, I'm saying, like, I literally fuck up misgendering people because I don't think about it, and because I have no accent, people are like, "What the fuck? You just said him." That's why I always use them. I always try to like say, I always will do like a them. You know what I mean? Then you can't catch me slipping. Like, them. Like, did I say him? Did I say her? Did I say them? You don't know. Yeah, I use
yeah, fuck them.
Yeah,
there you go. That's
exactly.
Fuck them is gender neutral.
Exactly. I think you misgender this person at least once per podcast. Yeah, I mean, it's like, for me, it's like W's and V's are really hard to pronounce correctly in a word where it has W's and V's, because we don't have W in Turkish. So these are things I have to learn and constantly reinforce when I'm speaking. But it's whatever. Yeah. But anyway, we're digressing. We're moving away from the main point, which is like so fucking stupid. But like, LGBT people did not make this conversation about them at all, and they're not doing that. And Bill Maher is actually literally using yet another important issue to just shit on fucking trans people for no reason. Like, nobody asked for this.
Yeah.
And it's okay to ask questions about something that's very new and involves children. The answer can't always be that anyone from a marginalized community is automatically right, trump card, mic drop, end of discussion. Because we're literally experimenting on children. Maybe that's why Sweden and Finland have stopped
Who's this
giving
argument with?
puberty
There's so many
blockers to kids.
presumptions in this that he has
Sweden
not
to end the
unpacked.
practice of prescribing puberty blockers to minors. Finns turn against puberty blockers. Yo, homie's literally putting up National Review articles, by the way. What the fuck? Oh, Jesus. He said puberty blockers are experimenting on children. Jesus Christ, dude.
Yeah.
Kids. Because we just don't know much about the long-term effects. Although common
That's not
sense
true.
should tell you that when you reverse the course of raging hormones, there's going to be problems. We do know
The scientists don't know
it
much,
hinders
but
the
here's what I
development
think
of
as a
bone-
talk show host. You know,
I love the idea that scientists have not thought about this, and that like puberty blockers as like a treatment, like an early treatment, is totally just like given willy-nilly, like randomly. Like there aren't already almost too many fucking hurdles that people need to go through, aside from having to deal with the endless sea of transphobia. Like and actually, I'm going to refer to the National Review instead
unbelievable.
when I talk about puberty blockers,
And that's the London Times, right? The conservative London Times.
yeah, and call anything out of England is going to be incredibly reactionary on this on this matter.
I mean, what this argument is against, like, consensus medical practice by like the entire medical community that actually works with these kids. And like the shame is that like what I try to figure out as like someone who actually does media is how do you get folks like Bill to actually talk to a subject matter expert on the subject? Like he does not speak to one, I assume, on this segment, and I'm not sure if he ever has. And like that's what I was pleading with Joe to do, was to speak to an actual subject matter expert. And like it's such a bummer that misinformation gets spread this way, and in the guise of just asking questions. Like it's a bummer to me.
Wait, someone said
do
Sweden
this.
actually didn't stop using them. The largest hospital did. Let's see. And then Finland isn't valid because they still do forced sterilization on trans people who want to change legal gender. What the fuck? Oh, so it was just one hospital in Sweden that is stops prescribing puberty blockers for under 16, cites cruel Curabell ruling. A children's hospital in Sweden has stopped prescribing puberty blockers to trans under 16s with gender dysphoria, citing the Curabell ruling. Okay, ruling by the High Court of England and Wales for establishing overarching problems associated with puberty blocking treatment. Oh, God. It's awful. You should never let England guide any decision that you're making, honestly. They have a horrible track record on everything.
But this is also the constant thing of like cherry picking a little piece of one event and holding it up as like part of a trend, which is what always happens with this topic specifically. Like, people communicating about this in the media just like never fucking tell the whole. They always post the headline and never the article.
The court ruled that it was doubtful that 14 and 15-year-olds would be able to comprehend the long-term risks and consequences of the treatment, and highly unlikely for 13-year-olds to do the same. No, that's why. Yeah, we shouldn't do any medical treatment to 13-year-olds. Actually, by that logic, I mean, they can't comprehend it. What if chemo fucks them up permanently? You know what I mean? You don't know the permanent consequences of having chemotherapy as a acceptable cancer treatment. Fuck children with cancer. That's what I've decided. That's great. Also, no therapist or any like medical professional obviously is monitoring this situation.
In this country, we fucking give amphetamines to 6-year-olds and we cut off pieces of people's penises when they're born. Like,
shouts out. I'm an intactivist as well, brother. That's right.
So what is the what is the fucking moral panic about this particular issue? Where are those people in all those other cases?
From what I understand, the long-term consequences of like gender or hormone blockers given to like 13, 14-year-old trans kids is literally just only positive. Like that's the long-term consequences of it, because it's like, one, it's reversible.
Yeah.
And two, and they're like trying to literally point to anything they can to be like, well, maybe the bones aren't growing as much. You don't know that. But like ultimately, it is incredibly positive because you know, whether we like to admit it or not, I mean, passing is still, and I'm not being like a trans medicalist or anything, but like passing is important for literally safety in many instances in an otherwise incredibly transphobic society. It's certainly it plays a functional role in like acceptance. It's not the end all be all of like trans existence. Obviously, that's not what I'm saying at all. But you know, that is one way that like passing is one way that happens, and this is like
there's lots of other benefits beyond just physical appearance, right? To having gender affirming puberty blockers. Beyond just like, oh, you might pass. It's like I assume reduced dysphoria and issues like that, right? I mean, I shouldn't speak because I don't. It's again, I'm not a subject matter expert, nor do I have lived experience in the matter. But like, you know, easier for me to argue against.
It's also less dysphoria, not having to get surgeries later on. I encourage every trans person to learn how to throw hands because passing is temporal, capoeira is forever. Okay, that's a good one. The biggest side effect of puberty blockers is surviving. Exactly. Like, it is weird, you know, pubertal blockers for transgender and gender diverse youth, is like widely positive, broadly covered. People see it as like an ultimate, like overall W. And I think that's what fucking freaks people out. Honestly, it's like less suicidal ideation, the higher likelihood of, unfortunately, like having immediate family members and other people like be accepting, and that is, I think that's what triggers people is just like they don't want that.
Yeah, they don't want these folks to live and thrive. Like that's contrary to their political project.
The appeal court overturns the UK puberty blockers ruling for under 16s. Oh, the Tavistock and Portman NHS Foundation Trust wins challenge over case brought by Kira Bell last year. Oh, so they actually did overturn this. Well, I guess Sweden didn't get the memo, and they recently, or no, this is immediately after. They overturned it like literally, they overturned it like months later.
Bizarre.
But Sweden still went with it? That's kind of wild. Anyway. Obviously, like different countries have different methods of dealing with this, and you know, there's like varying degrees of transphobia or like mistreatment from different countries. Using that as a baseline or like inappropriately using that as an argument is really fucked up. Yeah. But Bill Maher is, you know, he's just trying to get more trans people to commit suicide. I guess. Very nice guy. Very, very cool dude.
Aging hormones. There's going to be problems. We do know it hinders the development of bone density, which is kind of important if you like having a skeleton. Fertility and the ability to have an orgasm seem also to be affected. This isn't just a lifestyle decision, it's medical. Weighing trade-offs is not bigotry. Yet when a book questioning the sudden uptick in transitioning children was released, a trans lawyer with the ACLU named Chase Strangio tweeted, "Stopping the circulation of this book and these ideas is 100% a hill I will die on." How very civil liberties of him. Chase, by the way, has just been named one of the grand marshals of this year's New York City Pride March, along with 3 other trans people.
So what's up? Is he trying to get like people to lynch this guy, or what's happening?
It seems
this is like a wildly inappropriate, wildly inappropriate fucking thing to cut.
Yeah,
man, that's awesome.
Yeah.
I'm not familiar with this book, but I assume it's fucking dog shit. If we're being honest,
this is this. I mean, look at the title. You can see exactly what it is. I've not read it, but I've read enough about it. It's fucking, you know, Quillette level, you know, postulating that is it's a book that's designed to cause people to react against it and then to play victim about people protesting against it.
Wait, the 2020 book by Abigail Schreier, published by Regnery Publishing, book endorses the contentious concept of rapid onset gender dysphoria, which is not recognized as a medical diagnosis by any major professional institution and is not backed by credible scientific evidence.
Yeah, this is the idea that like rapid onset gender dysphoria is the idea of like gender dysphoria as like kind of a mass hysteria.
Yeah, no. This is like trans trenders. That's what she's saying is like.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's wonderful, great stuff. Cool. Fucking TERFs, dude. They are so insane.
Mm-hmm. Just the language there, seducing our daughters should be like a tell. You know, this is fucking the this is reefer madness. You know, like it's that kind of moral panic designed to like frighten old conservative adults. And like, I don't know, like I'm not that young anymore, but when I grew up, like, we knew that titles like that were bullshit, you know, like it was like it caused our bullshit detectors to go off. And I'm kind of surprised that like people don't fucking get it. The transgender craze, seducing our daughters.
Schreier says that there was a sudden severe spike in transgender identification among adolescent girls in the 2010s, referring to teenagers assigned female at birth. She attributes this to social contagion among high anxiety, depressive, mostly white girls who in previous decades fell prey to anorexia and bulimia or multiple personality disorder, which is, of course, far more preferable. Which, by the way, famously, anorexia, bulimia, and multiple personality disorder no longer exists in young white girls. That they, because you know that's what happened. Obviously,
this is the same as Bill's argument of like, why is everyone coming out now? Like, hold on a second. Like,
Schreier also criticizes gender-affirming psychiatric support, hormone replacement therapy, and sex reassignment surgery, together often referred to as gender-affirming care, as a treatment of gender dysphoria in young people. Interesting. Heavy use of anecdotes, other problems with the evidentiary basis, obviously. That's great. There are also more left-handed people now than there were 100 years ago, Bill. I know, I already did that dunk, boys. I already did that slam dunk. Cool stuff. Oh God. Okay, there it is. Okay, I understand what's going on here now. God damn, dude. It's purely anecdotal and scare shit. It's so fucking. People are so. Yeah, the TERF energy radiating from every orifice on that photo.
Look, it's also like it's not again great strategy to like go after like a book shouldn't be published, right? Like the argument should be one on its merits. Like this book is harmful, A, but like B, let's not hand these people a fucking dunk by, you know what I mean?
They're too scared. They're too scared to publish these truths is what they're going to go with. They're literally doing that already.
That argument is really powerful. So if you know that you're going to get that argument in response, like don't hand them the fucking, don't pass the ball to them so they can dunk it on.
It's just always funny to claim this, by the way, the irreversible damage. Like people are doing this as a trend. It's the exact same thing as like you're being in the 90s, people saying you're gay for attention. You're faking being gay for attention. And it's like, I don't know. Do you want to put a dick in your mouth? Like, is that something that you're constantly thinking about? Like, is it that easy to switch? If that's the case, maybe you should try it. Like, maybe you'll like it a lot. There's nothing wrong with it. You know what I mean? Yeah. It's so stupid. It's a bit of a self-report in some respects, I think. Because, like, you know, I'm very open about my sexuality. I'm a cishet breeder. And, and like, I've not... You know, I haven't even ruled it out, like, but I have not ever been like, damn, I want to kiss this dude. You know what I mean? Like, I've never had that inclination. So I don't understand why so many of these, like, insecure people constantly fucking make it seem like, no, there's, chat, don't think that this is an invitation immediately. My largely LGBT community is like, oh, we have a chance. Like, chill the fuck out. Okay? But it is so ridiculous that people who are super insecure will turn around and be like, oh well, you know, you're maybe doing it for attention. Like, I don't think you can like switch off like that. I don't think that's something that you can do for attention.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
I mean, one of my real formative experiences with this was a friend of mine who is she came out like our senior year of high school. She was the only out person in the entire school of our, what I later realized, a very conservative school on Long Island. And like, she took so much heat from everybody. It took so much bravery to do it. She started a chapter of PFLAG in our school. Almost nobody would show up to it. Like, she was ostracized. Like, that was 1999. And like, it took such integrity to do that. It takes such integrity now for trans people to stand up.
Grab your 2020 bingo card because
it's ludicrous. Oh, no problem.
I accidentally clicked on that, but
named Chase Strangio tweeted, "Die away."
This was really fucked up.
Oh right, a gay man.
The way he says his name,
yeah,
is really fucked up.
Wait, what is he? Is he misgendering him? Like what?
They're
No, I don't
trans
think so.
people and a lesbian. Huh.
Oh, wait.
What's missing here? Oh, right, a gay man.
He's saying that like he's gonna be one of like the march leaders along with what?
One of the grand marshals of this year's New York City Pride March, along with 3 other trans people and a lesbian. Huh. What's missing here? Oh, right, a gay man.
By the way, the other trans people, like, they could be gay. Like, what?
Yeah.
What the fuck?
What does he,
like?
what does he mean?
I don't
by
even
that?
know. I don't
Is
even
he
know
say-
if Chase is gay or not. You know what I mean?
Is the argument that the New York City Pride Parade is straying from its roots? I thought the Pride Parade was supposed to be about the gay men in the leather. What happened? That's Bill Maher's take.
Oh,
Is that what he's saying?
He's saying Chase. People in the chat are saying Chase is gay. Like Chase is a gay man. But Bill Maher, I guess, is like calling into question him being gay because like. So here's one really interesting thing is that like I'm not getting into like trans people's business. Don't get me wrong, but like one thing that is I guess to some degree established, and this doesn't mean that like trans men are not getting dunked on or not getting abused. Of course they are, but trans men are more accepted. Testosterone is like a easier. Testosterone is like a very overpowering hormone. Bill Maher did the incredible thing of just like deciding to be like, no, you as a trans man, I'm gonna misgender you.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's not enough. I'm gonna fucking misgender you as a trans man and also say that like you can't be gay.
Yeah.
Which is wild because even fucking.
I'll be honest, I don't know if Bill Maher understands what he's talking about enough to be purposefully misgendering with that joke. I think he's just really confused. Like, I think he's just saying...
No, he's literally saying Chase can't be a gay man because if he fucks men exclusively, that means he's still straight because he's not a man, is what he's saying.
I understand. I'm not sure that that's what he thinks he's saying, but I'm not sure it matters. I think he thinks that he's like, the L is one type of person, the G is one type of person, the B is one type of person, the T is another type of person.
Yeah.
Where's the G's? And he like doesn't get that trans men who are attracted to men are gay. I think but who the fuck knows? It doesn't matter. I just sometimes we got to separate stupidity from malice. That's all. But in this case, who cares? The result is the same. What does he say right after this?
I don't know. Let's see. Let's continue.
What is this point?
That's where we are now. Gay men aren't hip enough for the gay pride parade.
Okay. That's his point. Yeah, right.
Compared to trans, gay is practically cis, and cis is practically Mormon.
Wait, compared to trans, gay is like, unless they are a gay trans person, yes.
So that's what I'm saying. He doesn't understand.
What the fuck?
He just
Wait, what?
He just sees trans as a more extreme form of gay. He's saying they're going crazy now. They're far left. They're moving to the left. Like that's he sees. He literally sees them on a spectrum like that when they are not. That's not what those words mean. But he thinks that they are on a scale. He thinks the Kinsey scale goes from straight to gay to trans.
Yeah. When you're super gay, you're trans. Yeah, that's awesome. That's great.
See, this is the thing about Bill is that he is, look, he was nice to me when I met him, but he is sometimes just old and stupid. And then sometimes also he's mean. So I don't defend. But
no, he's just like this is the type of shit that only works if you already have the presupposition that your audience is also just as stupid as you are. So then it's like funny because like, haha, we don't understand it. This is the same concept as like Dave Chappelle being like, trans people are weird, right? And then everyone clapping. That's just what it is. It's like, it's just that endless sequence of like old boomer liberals who are like, I don't really understand this trans shit. Okay. What are they like super gay or something? And then Bill basically is just reinforcing that kind of attitude amongst his audience, and they're clapping.
Well, and look, comedy is about I have a thought, don't you share the thought, and like that's who he is, and so he has the thought, and he assumes his audience does, but he doesn't. He's living in a new world where now like everybody is watching this, not just people who can afford HBO, and everyone can have an opinion about it, and so there's like a disconnect there, and he can choose to care about the disconnect or not. He still happens to be one of the most popular talk shows.
Though, he was right though. The gay men are, especially white cis gay men, are the straight men of the LGBT community. Sorry. Let's continue. I'm sorry. I live in West Hollywood. Okay, I see it too much to.
In West Hollywood, you absolutely do. In West Hollywood,
I mean, do you know the amount of people that were fucking voting for Pete Buttigieg? Like, there was a motherfucker wearing a Pete Buttigieg shirt.
Yeah.
Okay, not to say that Pete Buttigieg is transphobic or whatever, but like that is some straight white men behavior right there. To be like,
Look,
I'm going for Pete Buttigieg. Even I'm wearing his shirt when he's not even when he's no longer in the primaries.
There's a certain like kind of there are people who, as soon as equality was won to their satisfaction, they ran straight to the right. And
Dave Rubin.
And they're very happy to do it. And like West Hollywood as a gay neighborhood, when it became incorporated as a city, there were plenty of people who were like, great, now I'm going to make a lot of money here. Look, not my community. I don't want to speak too much, but
I speak on this community all the time, despite not even remotely being a part of it. So Adam ruins everything except your stream is on. Can we have him on back soon? Oh, look at that.
Anytime I'll come back. I'm having a blast.
Yeah, well, I'm about to blast him with the top of the hour ad break again. Time flies when you're having fun. At the top of the hour, there's a 60-second ad break. If you no longer want to see those ads, all you need to do is subscribe. Do that for $5 or for free with the Twitch Prime. Here's the 1-minute ad break now again. That's right. Here it is.
I see you also have a Stream Deck and never use it. I have the same problem with mine.
Oh no, I've been using it to switch through. Okay. I've been using it to switch through camera angles and stuff, and like controlling different cameras and shit. But other than that, I don't really have too much use for it.
Yeah, and I mean your hand's always on the mouse. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
The bummer about Bill, and like, look, I have friends who work on the show. I was on the show. It's like uncomfortable for me because I'm in comedy, right? But like, this show is so popular. Like when I did an appearance on this show, and I got more. It was like 3 years ago. And Bill was very nice to me. I got more people writing to me, oh my God, I saw you on Bill Maher, than any other appearance I've done. I've done Colbert twice. I've done Conan.
I did not know that. I did not know that it was that poppin'.
Yeah, it's extremely popular among a certain segment of the population. A lot of people watch it every single week. And
what's
up,
Bill?
To see this stuff.
What's up, Bill? I was just kidding when I said all those things. You should have me on the show. I don't know what this guy's saying. He is a phony. He's literally shitting on you after being on your show. Me, I am your most loyal subject. You know what I'm saying?
It's just, I wish this is not what Bill were using his platform to talk about, or I wish that, he were having people on who could set him straight, unfortunately. It's casualty of boomer brain, unfortunately.
Yeah. Well, he's so narcissistic. Like he thinks he knows everything. It's like, the entitled boomer attitude is just like,
this is a guy.
I hate it. I hate I hate that nothing. I think nothing kills comedy as much as like seeking acceptance and like seeking validation.
Yeah.
And the other thing that I hate is when you fucking when you're just like so self-assured and you think like you know everything and you're so smug.
Yeah.
And that's like not funny. I think Dave Chappelle's like fallen into that trap as well, and he was like a brilliant comedian.
It's very funny that people often accuse Adam Ruins Everything of being smug, and they apparently did not watch the show, because the whole point of the show is that I was playing a character, a Pee Wee Herman-esque version of myself, who was constantly being corrected by everybody else and being told he was an idiot and revising his opinions, right? That shit is really important. But like, Maher does these ads that are like, he says what other people don't, like fearless. And then he says underinformed shit like this, and it's a fucking bummer, and yeah, that's his like point of view, is like, it's what I hate in comedy is shit that is so first thought, so basic, like just not even a take, just stuff that everybody is saying being framed as somehow boundary pushing. Like this is
He
this
was
isn't even
he was
interesting.
boundary pushing when he said the people that fucking flew the planes on 9/11 were brave. It takes bravery to fucking fly the plane into the buildings versus lobbing predator missiles from thousands of miles. That's not brave.
Yeah.
That was actually a brave take.
Yeah.
And he got punished for it severely, and he's been just a bitch since then. Okay, over and over again, getting owned.
Do you remember when he said the N-word? Do you remember the context of that?
That was not brave.
It wasn't brave. No. What I'm saying is this is his entire. This like very much fits his entire way of being, because he was just saying the context of him saying that was I forget who he was talking to. I think a senator, and the senator was like, "Hey, don't you go outside and exercise or whatever?" And he goes, "No, I'm a house N-word, right?"
Mm-hmm.
And he's just using the word to say I don't go outside much. And he thinks that's an appropriate time to drop that. And then he was like, what? Why couldn't I? You know? And so that sort of, I should get to say anything at any time. And you know, doesn't everybody know how I feel about this? And that sort of like presumption is really part and parcel of you know, and it wasn't even a fucking joke.
Yeah, he's odd, but
There
his
wasn't even a take. There was nothing to it.
His audience loves that though. They're like, "Oh yeah, that's sick. He said the N-word." I bet they had no problem with that. What, Ice Cube was on that episode? Wow, the man who ended racism with Black White. That's crazy. Have you ever seen that show?
No.
Black White. Oh my
No.
God. Okay, well, fun show for you to watch later.
I'll check it
You
out.
can find my community uploaded all the episodes onto the internet. It's Ice Cube's show where he produced, where he makes a white family do blackface and a black family do whiteface, and they live together. And the white dad is like fucking super racist. It's awesome. Unfortunately, I mean, it's not. Well, first of all, let me just say this: it's not just blackface; it's Emmy award-winning blackface. That's true. It won an Emmy award.
It did?
Yeah, for the blackface. Yeah.
Wow.
The man who did the blackface actually ended up doing all the makeup for the non-prosthetic makeup for Marvel movies too.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's unbelievable. It's
great.
incredible. I have to see this.
Anyway,
It
let's
sounds
continue
like
with
a
this.
social experiment.
Yeah, no, it's great. It's fucking awesome. I wish they would bring it back.
And this is a phenomenon we need to take into account when we look at this issue. Yes, part of the rise in LGBT numbers is from people feeling free enough to tell it to a pollster, and that's all to the good. But some of it is, it's trendy. Penis equals man. Okay.
That's not a thing. Like, who was he talking to?
Oh my God.
Who was he talking about? Like, I don't understand that. Like,
Based on what? Why does he believe this?
who the fuck is so weak-willed that they're just like, yeah, no, I'm fundamentally altering my entire existence, and I'm gonna be fucking abused by like random onlookers, and my entire existence is going to be debated on a daily basis in like very like in daytime television even, you know what I mean? Like as though it's a normal conversation to have about someone. Specifically so I get attention. Like that's just crazy. You know what this is, and I'm tying this back to the trans athlete conversation.
Sure.
Conservatives always say, "Oh, well, what if I said I'm a woman and then I competed immediately and dominated the competition?" It's like, yeah, that doesn't happen. Because it doesn't happen, you have to go and do it yourself, and everybody knows what you're doing.
Yeah.
Everyone knows you're just a piece of shit. You're doing that. It's a fake. It's a phoney. Okay.
Yeah. Like why don't you do it?
But that's the thing.
If it's such an easy way to win a competition, why don't you go fucking do it?
The only instances where like someone is cheating as a fake trans person is like conservatives who in their desperation could not find someone that does it. So they are doing it. And they're not even doing a good job with it either. Like, bitch, you're not taking HRT. You know what I mean? And
it's fucking Steven Crowder putting a dress on and going into a bathroom shit.
Exactly. It's just so stupid.
Okay, boomer. Remember the
yeah.
That explains a lot.
Yeah,
Okay,
that's
boomer.
That was such a great punchline.
yeah. You know my man is here. It's the Adam Carolla show now.
The OG himself.
Why? It's
the
just,
original.
in his mind, the only thing that's going through his mind is that, these fucking Zoomers no longer want to eat beef stew. That's what he's thinking. In his mind, he's thinking like, it's alarming. Nobody's thinking about stew.
I did his podcast once. Craziest experience of my life. Airplane hangar sized space. I was trying to explain Adam Ruins Everything, and then he stopped me so he could rant about Mrs. Butterworth for 25 minutes.
Wait, really?
Yeah, I don't remember the context, but he was really mad about it wasn't about the character. It was about like a bottle of syrup. It was like about his wife leaving the bottle of syrup sticky or something like that. It was a fine appearance, and I have no beef with it. It was at the height of Adam Carolla being an extremely popular podcaster, which I don't know if he still is. But
damn, bro, you've been on all these fucking weirdo boomers shows. Like, what the fuck?
I mean, well, it's, comedy has only finally gotten to the point where people like this are comfortable saying, I'm a right-wing comedian. And so, it used to be everyone was sort of playing it like, no, we're all just comics. There's no right-wing and left-wing we
would just call them hacks, I think.
Yeah.
That's what I thought. I was like, wow, okay, this guy's a fucking hack.
But now you got fucking, if you look at like, Shane Gillis, the guy who was fired from SNL for being racist was
I'm going to be honest with you.
Apologizing.
I'm going to be honest with you. As far as like all those comedians go, at least Shane is like capable of making me laugh every now and then.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
I think
he does jokes, but if you watch his latest special, it's him going like, Trump is so good, dude. Like, Trump is fucking awesome.
I watched the special.
Yeah.
I think there was like weird parts about it. I'm gonna be honest though. Shane Gillis was surprising for me, at least. I think he does have like the hacky right wing bits, but I don't think he's like he is definitely like leaning into the right wing shit because it's like such an easy way to immediately land on an audience and go on like the Adam Carolla show and shit like that.
I'm not saying he's a bad comic. He's a good comic, but he's mask off. He's like, I'm a fucking pro-Trump comic.
Because like I say I like Trump too. I don't think he like legitimately is like a Trump supporter. Maybe he is, but I did think, no, I'm not friends with Shane Gillis. I don't know him at all, but I am I was surprised, to say the least, about his like. I will defend his comedy, even though it's like very subjective. I would go so far as to say that like his special wasn't all that bad because like I don't think the Trump stuff was serious. I think he was like making fun of like Trump being a good content machine, which I agree with. Maybe I don't know. Look. That's all I'm going to say about Shane Gillis. All of the bits that they showcased when he got an SNL job was fucking dog shit. It was just like, it's the same exact things that you could easily cut about like Cumtown and whatever. It's like you can absolutely look at someone's body of work, especially when they're like trying to, make jokes and like reach for the low hanging fruit like that. And I thought for the longest time that he was like incapable of being funny. He was just like one of those like, Cumtown light dudes, you know what I mean? But but I do think that he has some funny bits at least. These guys have never been funny. I don't think Adam Carolla has been funny ever. And, like all his humor revolves around my bitch ex-wife. Oh, I fucking hate her or whatever the fuck. Whereas
my point is just that we are starting to see like the genuine split where everyone used to try to like play it very straight and go like, you never really know. And Shane still does that a little bit, but I think it's like look, there are comics who are fucking right wingers and they're out there doing it, and like I can't say that we're at least finally being honest about our fucking ideologies in comedy, right? But a couple years ago it was easier to like sort of ignore that and just go on someone's show for fun. That's all.
Yeah.
Not that I wouldn't fucking go on Bill Maher again because he lets you yell at him when he says shit like this.
What is this? Why did you click? Why do you want me to look at his thing? Why did you send me his Wikipedia? Continuation of stand-up? I don't know. Anyway, some of his bits are actually pretty funny. Look, I making me laugh is a very difficult thing, the way I see it. I'm not like a joy killer by any means, but like I do value people that are like at least a little bit funny and can do good bits.
Look, people used to say, like, bizarrely, like 5 or 6 years ago, they'd say there's no such thing as conservative comedy. And it's not true. There were no, like, out conservative comedians, or very few at the time. But, like, it fucking exists, you know? Like, liberal comedy, progressive comedy goes like, why's the world got to be this way? We should change things. Conservative comedy goes, why's everyone got to change everything, you know? Those, you know, there's been comics with those views, and like now comedy is getting like culture war just like everything else, you know, and like Bill's choosing a side, you know?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Here, this is some good ass right wing.
And when
Yeah. Like this guy is just incapable of being funny. Anyway, okay, let's continue. Let's finish this.
Remember, the prime directive of every teen is anything to shock and challenge the squares who brought you up. It's why nobody gets a nose ring at 56. And if you haven't noticed that with kids, doing something for the likes is more important than their own genitals, you haven't been paying attention.
Oh.
Dr. Erica.
Dude, how is it any different than an incel talking about women? You are so fucking far in proximity from like what a fucking Zoomer is and their mindset that like you should not be talking about it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like when incels are like, this is what women are like. I'm like, bitch, you've never been around a woman. What the fuck are you talking about?
This stuff bothers me because like I do comedy where I try to fucking learn something about the world and then like share it with people, something that I didn't know already. That's kind of the whole thing that I do. And so when people are so incurious about other people's experience and like, you know, just go with their first reaction without actually talking to another human being, it really bothers me.
Yeah, no, it's not about that anyway, because he's just trying to talk to an audience that already agrees with him, and he's like trying to farm some conservatives.
Anderson is a prominent 71-year-old clinical psychologist who is herself transgender and who now says, I think it's gone too far. The LA Times summarizes.
Yeah, Blair White. Okay, yeah, like there's gonna be reactionaries in every all shapes, sizes, colors, backgrounds. That doesn't mean that.
This is also like one line from a woman who has a very complex experience as a, you know, someone who treats children, like that has been pulled out. Like this woman has a much more complex article than this.
I don't know what Dr. Erica.
It's
Anderson,
true. Neither do I. I didn't read the whole article with her in the LA Times, but like, you know, she like does provide, my understanding is, gender affirming care to children.
Oh Jesus! Here we go. It's on fucking Killette. A trans pioneer explains her resignation from the U.S. Professional Association for Transgender Health.
Okay, never mind.
Oh,
I haven't been following up.
Berkeley-based clinical psychologist Erica Anderson describes her mission as helping those who have embarked on a gender journey. She also seeks to advance the share the goals of social justice and transgender well-being. Offers assistance to anyone to understand, educate. Last year, Dr. Anderson read Abigail Schreier's book, which many transgender activists... but Dr. Anderson was open to Schreier's concerns about being girls swept up by trans identification. Oh, my Lord. Oh, my... So this is a trans doctor who literally fucking specializes in this and then read this dumbass book and was like, I'm red-pilled now. I love that. Okay, well, great. Poor care some children who identify as transgender has been receiving. Dr. Anderson, who transitioned to living as a woman after growing up as a Boy Scout and church leader group in suburban Minnesota, told Schreier she submitted a co-authored op-ed to the New York Times warning that many transgender healthcare providers were treating kids recklessly. How? What does that even mean?
Look, like, there are complicated questions when you're treating an actual individual child, right? And that's like a thing that your health, as a health provider, you should be taking into account. It's different when you decide to join the culture war on it. You know, like because that's where everything gets flattened. That's when you end up next to Bill Maher, you know, with like one sentence from you pulled out.
But I don't think they even care at that point that they're being like used in this regard, because I think like you just kind of dive into it and that's your shared community now.
Yeah.
Like that's how it works. Great. Yeah, John Mulaney had Dave Chappelle open for him. Okay, let's just continue with this, and then we'll
She's
get back
come
to
to
holy
believe
shit.
that some children identifying as trans are falling under the influence of their peers and social media. If you attend a small dinner party of typically very liberal, upper-income Angelenos, it is not uncommon to hear parents who each have a trans kid having a conversation about that. What are the odds of that happening in Youngstown, Ohio? If this spike in trans children...
Wait, come on, bro. You could say that about gay kids. Like, what the fuck?
What the hell?
That is so psychotic. Yeah, in Youngstown, Ohio, parents are not as open-minded about
If you get 10 people together, what's the statistic? You get 10 people together, there's a 50-50 chance that 2 of them share a birthday. Like, it's fucking law of large numbers statistical shit. That, like, yeah, you get enough people together, you're going to have 2 parents of a trans kid. Like,
what the fuck? That's so wild. I think it's about 25 people. Oh, okay. That is actually incredible. 23 people is what they're saying. Some people are
thank you everybody jumping in the chat. Yes, you get
this also ties
together.
back into that idiotic notion that like, oh, you're transing kids by having like who's transing the children? Like who's doing that? How is it happening? Is it by watching movies where trans people who exist in society are openly allowed to exist in the movie? Is that what? Because if that's the case, like everything else is like cis het normative. So what the fuck is that working against it?
And what is the supposed social advantage that trans kids are meant to have? Like if he's saying that like it's trendy, kids want to do it because it's not cool to just be gay anymore. Like, what is the social advantage that trans kids like? Is it great? Like, I know plenty of trans folks. None of them are like, haha, I'm better than you. I got an easy life. Things are great for me.
Wait, they're not
You wish you were
dominating
me.
every athletic endeavor? Like Superwoman? What the fuck? That's so strange. That's what everyone tells me in the, all the trans people I know are like fucking wearing, coder socks and playing Hearts of Iron, but like... and they're frail as fuck, but I guess I'm wrong. There's these like incredible. They're all deep hidden inside of them is this incredible athlete waiting to come out. You know what I mean? It's just they're hiding it.
All right, I gotta split in like 10 minutes. So let's
okay,
finish
let's
this
finish.
Why is it regional?
And I gotta plug my fucking Netflix show.
Either
so I came
Ohio
here.
is shaming them or California is creating them.
Okay, so Ohio is shaming them.
Shaming them or California is creating them.
Yeah, so he already figured it out. Yeah. Okay, Ohio's shaming them. Got it.
But he's saying California's creating them with a snake.
What is Coder
It's
Socks
like that day
programmer
we
song?
suddenly all needed bottled water all the time. If we can't admit that in certain enclaves there is some level of trendiness to the idea of being anything other than straight, then this is not a serious science-based discussion.
What science?
It's a blow being stuck in the culture
What
wars
science?
using children as cannon fodder.
Is
I
there
don't understand parents.
There's no
who won't
science
let their
around
Is there a
9-year-old
study
walk to the
showing that it's
corner
trendy
without
to be
a
trans? What is he talking about?
Yeah,
So I said you should play it, and then I started talking over it.
yeah.
helmet, an EpiPen, and a GPS tracker. And God forbid their lips touch dairy. But
Oh my God, it's all boomer anxieties now. God
Yeah.
forbid. They're not even giving them dairy. They're not even giving them cow milk.
I'm surprised he didn't do a peanut joke.
Oh, yeah,
That would have
yeah.
been a little bit more on the nose. That would be my punch up. Make it peanut. Peanuts are funny.
But hormone blockers and genital surgery, fine.
Like, that's such a lie. That's not even, there's no state where it's legal to do like
Yeah.
genital surgery before the age of
False. 18.
Like, you're just, the only genital surgery conducted widely is, again, we're intactivists here, so this is a safe space for you to fucking say it, is circumcision, okay?
Yeah.
That's it.
Thank you.
That's the only genital surgery conducted on millions of babies.
Yeah.
all
Often
right?
without even asking their parents.
Exactly, dude. It's fucking bullshit. Or unless they're an intersex baby, that's also true. Exactly. That's another genital surgery conducted.
Yeah.
All the time.
Yeah.
Ridiculous.
Talk about a nut allergy.
Oh, there's the peanut joke.
Yeah.
There you go. Fucking Donna.
I guess penises are gross now, but one might come in handy later on. And if you're a man who wants to experience life without a pair of balls, you do not have to get surgery. You can get married.
Oh, my bitch wife. Oh. Let's go. You know, my balls, all my friends, their balls are in their wife's purse. What a zinger. Adam Carolla is clapping. He's like, yeah, this is my shit. Yeah,
should've written one. I
talk
should've
more
written
about
this.
your fucking bitch wife. Oh yeah, this is someone said this is the multiverse of boomer jokes. Exactly. Dun, dun, dun.
I mean, they work. They fucking work. You know.
Yeah,
they
no.
work for. I mean, he's killing. He's killing.
And never forget, children are impressionable and very, very stupid.
Unlike boomers.
Kids don't know why mom drinks every day or why dad has 2 cell phones.
See, this is the writers are just having fun here. They're doing a great job with the very difficult premise.
Maybe the
and
boy
just
who
writing
thinks
some
he's a
solid
girl
ones
is
here.
just gay.
You're just hyping your fucking
Or whatever.
homies up in the writing team, dude. Okay, all right.
Dude. I mean, look. I'm a comedy writer. I gotta stand up for
Yeah,
my
they're-
fellows. You know what I
they're-
mean? Solidarity.
Yo, I was more aware of the world at 12 than this boomers today. I mean,
Frasier was.
oh my God, Frasier reference. Hold on.
Wait, hold on. Yeah.
Maybe the boy who thinks he's a girl is just gay. Or whatever Frasier was.
What a reference.
Maybe the girl who hates girly stuff just needs to learn that being female doesn't mean you have to act like a Kardashian.
Oh, that's good. That's a good. That's to punch at trans people with the.
Maybe
sexist
childhood makes you sad sometimes, and there are other solutions besides hand me the dick saw.
Oh God.
The obsession with genital
look.
surgery is such a bummer.
Yeah.
That it like truly is such a like small part of this entire story, and it's like
They always go to
inflated
that.
so
He
much.
always goes to that shit.
I'm sure the vast majority of parents do not take this lightly, and that it's very hard to know when something is real or just a phase. And I understand being trans is different, it's innate. But kids do also have phases. They're kids, it's all phases. The dinosaur phase, the Hello Kitty phase. One day they want to be an astronaut, the next day you can't get them to leave their room. Gender fluid, kids are fluid about everything. If kids knew what they wanted to be at age 8, the world would be filled with cowboys and princesses.
Why? What? You can extend this entire logic to gay people, by the way. So I wonder why he's not doing that, and he's only hyper focusing on trans people. Maybe because it's more socially acceptable to dunk on trans people.
yeah, because we're
Yeah.
at 1995 for trans people. Like it's
Yeah.
just.
Because like this is the same shit. You could just be like, yeah, your kid's not gay. He's just making it up. It's a phase. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean it's the bummer about this stuff is that like I'm like they don't see the future on this because I do because I already lived it one time. Like I went through the entire, I mean not personally, but saw my friends go through the entire like social transformation on gay rights. It like happened. It only took a couple decades of my lifetime. It took a lot longer for everybody else. I'm sorry, but like from me becoming aware of what gay people were to gay marriage was like 20 years. And it's like I've seen this happen once before. We're gonna see it happen again unless we let the motherfuckers down south like drag us back. But Jesus Christ. I mean,
also don't understand, like, I just don't get how, like, you can compare that to being, like, a cowboy. Like, wanting to... He's making it seem like you just want to be trans. You know what I mean? Like, you just... Like, as though, like, a 7-year-old is like, damn, I'm gonna be so trendy by fucking transing myself. Like,
Yeah.
what like, 14-year-old is thinking about this with those terms? Like, it's already, like, a terrifying prospect. It's just so stupid. Like... I don't know.
The bummer of this is that like what he's saying has there is a teeny grain of truth to it, which is that if you have an actual kid, you need to work really hard to understand your actual kid. You know what I mean? Not everybody has the same story.
But there's no circumstance in which like parents are like, oh yeah, let's give you fucking life altering surgery. That doesn't exist. That doesn't happen. And even when your child wants to look up the statistics, then what do you mean look up the statistics? What statistics are you referencing? Even when a child's like, I'm trans, I think, which takes up a fuckload of courage, okay, to even do that. It doesn't. It's not like an overnight thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and like The thing is that he's using this to attack trans people, and these arguments are used to attack specifically the parents of trans kids who have made with their kids like a decision that is right for the kid, and that they are fucking attacked on social media by their own state governments. And like, so the just asking questions thing, like if the argument was really, hey, some kids are different, they're not all the same, and like what's one for is not right for another, that's fine, but that is not the purpose of the argument. The purpose of the argument is to say we should ban giving gender affirming care to kids. We should take the decision away from parents and from their children. And that's like, is never made explicit, but that's the purpose of the argument. And that's what sucks about it.
All right, it's almost done.
I wanted
and
to
then
be a
you can
pirate.
plug.
Thank God nobody took me seriously and scheduled me for eye removal and peg leg surgery.
Oh my God! Don't laugh at that.
This is just like you were saying about here's the thing. I respect, I can say, a comic that was a well-written joke. The joke came out okay, but the premise is false. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you like that pirate joke? That was fire.
Nah, it wasn't fire.
Okay, no, it's fine. I don't know. Maybe you liked
it's
it.
like as a comedy writer, you're like, they finished the math problem. You know what I mean? They figured out X equals 2. They did the algebra. So I gotta,
All right. Well, plug your shit.
Okay. So the new show called The G Word. It's on Netflix. It's all about the federal government. We didn't even talk about what we did on that show. We fucking talk about.
We did. We talked about it from the point of view of like baby formula and the FDA and regulation. Its role it plays.
We did a thing. People liking this will probably like our segment about drone strikes that we did and the military-industrial complex.
Wait, you did a thing about drone strikes and Obama? Is Obama involved in the?
Obama is an executive producer of the show. He's on the show. So
what the fuck?
And
okay.
we do a segment about drone strikes on the show.
How did he receive that? Well, I guess we'll have to watch to find out.
You'll have to watch. I mean, I'll come back on again to talk about it if you want, but you can see somewhere in the trailer there's a segment about drone. There's a clip of the drone strike segment. Yeah, I mean, like he was like, his people were like, "You sure you want to do this?" And I was like, "Yeah, I do."